start it off, you want to make sure that your entire eyelid is primed. And my primer of choice was my Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer. It was applied all over the eyelid area as well as up into my brow hair area. Now the first color that I went in with is my Sephora Micro Smooth. It's the matte tan. Yeah, tan 35 is my color. Then it says bronze, so I don't know. But I used my Sephora Micro Smooth, and that was just simply applied with my Flawless concealer brush. And I just simply swept this all over my eyelid area. The reasoning for this was just simply to prep it for any eyeshadow colors that I'm going to put on top. We're going to be working with the Coastal Scents 252 Ultimate Eyeshadow Palette today. And the first colors that I'm going to take are two shimmery eyeshadow, orange eyeshadow, colors that are going to be applied to the lid. You want to make sure that you're applying this with a wet brush. I wet my brush, then I dip it into the eyeshadows, and then I'm ready to apply it to my eyelid area, okay? So we're just simply going to pat this on the eyelid area. Once you've gone ahead and applied that shimmery eyeshadow color on your lid, make sure you bring it into the tear duct and right here in the first inner third of your eye at the bottom. Make sure you get it there as well, and it's all the time making sure that your brush is wet while doing this. It'll help with fallout, but it'll also give the eyeshadow more of a vibrancy to it, okay? Now we're going to take that same Flawless concealer brush, and out of that same 252 Coastal Scents eyeshadow palette, I'm going to use a matte orange color. It actually has a little bit of a red tint to it, so it's like a orange red color, and we're going to apply this to our crease area, working in small circular motions, and just get that blended right here, making sure that most of the color is here. And once you feel as though most of the color has been taken off of the brush, you can slowly blend over, not all the way, but just so that the eyeshadow fades across the eye, okay? Alright, so now that we have that eyeshadow color on, while you're blending, you're going to notice that you'll see the color fading. All you're simply going to do is just take your brush, dip it back into your eyeshadow, and then you're going to just simply place, say this color is on the brush, you're simply going to place that color where you need it to be and blend it slowly, okay? So that's how you make sure that your colors are vibrant, but that they're also still blended, okay? Now, out of that same 252 eyeshadow palette, we are going to take a plummy color. It's like a plum maroon color. It's a matte eyeshadow color as well. And we're going to take a small fluffy blending brush, and we're going to place this on the lower portion of our eye on the outer V. And you're going to blend using circular motions, okay? Get most of the color off of the brush, and then you can slowly blend up into the crease. But we're actually only going to stay in this area for now with this color. We just want to get it blended on and placed, and make sure that there aren't any harsh lines where we apply this color, okay? Now what you're going to do is simply take a pencil brush, and a pencil brush is just a small pointer brush that looks like this, taking that same matte color. Make sure that you're tapping the excess powder off of your eyeshadows, because that again helps with fallout, okay? And we're going to place that color right here on the outer third of our eye. Now I'm going to take that Flawless concealer brush again, and I'm going to pick up a really vibrant matte orange eyeshadow color out of the 252 palette, and this is going to be placed on the crease right over top of that first color. And what this is going to do is just bring a little bit more warmth to the eye and just brighten this area up a little bit, okay? Now, what you can do is make sure that you are wiping this brush off. I always keep a makeup towel on my vanity whenever I'm doing my makeup, just so that I can wipe my brushes off in between colors, so I'm not using so many brushes. Okay, what I'm going to do is take a eyeshadow. It's another matte eyeshadow, and this is by Wet n Wild, and the color is called Brulee. It's a matte, not a nude color, but it's a Lord, for the life of me, I can't think of it. But what I'm going to do is take this color and I'm going to use it as my highlight. I'm going to use my Sigma medium angled shading brush, E70. And I'm going to take a little bit of this Wet n Wild eyeshadow color. Again, making sure to tap the excess off. And I'm going to apply this right here to the highest point of my eyebrow. And I'm going to softly blend down so that my highlight and that orange color blend together, okay? Taking the pencil brush and a little bit of that maroon color that we had applied to our outer V in the lower portion of our eye right here, I'm going to take that and I'm going to deepen the crease. Mainly because I want a separation of my crease from my mobile eyelid and the rest of my eye up here. So I'm just going to use that pencil brush to draw a line, and I'm going to use the same brush to pretty much just blend it out. You want the line to be visible, but you also want it to be blended at the same time, if that makes any sense. So what you want to do is diffuse the harsh line of that. So it can be there, but it still needs to have a softness to it so that it doesn't look as harsh, but you can clearly tell that that crease is a little bit darker than maybe down here and down here. Okay, now I'm going to pick up a little bit of the Sephora Micro Smooth Foundation, and I'm going to apply some of that to the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush, and I'm going to blend it right here, just in the beginning of the eye look. Now, what this is going to do is just simply blend those colors together, but it's not going to have all of those colors right here. It allows me to fix anything that may have gotten swept over maybe a little bit too far. So it kind of gradually takes the color of your skin to the color out here. That's why I did that. We're going to go in and line our waterline with the Rimmel Scandal Eyes. This is a nude eyeshadow pencil. If you would like, you can use a white. I like to use nude with my complexion, and anyone that has a more tan or darker complexion, I like to use the nude because it's a lot more natural looking with the insides of our eyes. But if you're more fair skin tone, you can definitely use white and it'll be fine. To line my top lash line, I'm going to use my Jessie's Girl liquid eyeliner. This is going to be used to create sort of a wing. You don't have to do a wing if you don't want to. That's just my personal favorite. And then I'm going to curl my eyelashes. And I'm going to apply a coat of the L'Oreal Voluminous Miss Manga Mascara. And Black is Black. I'm going to do one soft coat of this to my upper and lower lash line. Okay, so once you're done all of that, I did go in with an additional mascara. I went in with the Youngnique 3D Fiber Lashes. So I did a coat of the Miss Manga, and then I did one coat of the Youngnique 3D Fiber Lashes to my top and bottom lashes. And now it's time to go in with foundation. I used the L'Oreal Paris Revitalift Miracle Blur Instant Skin Smoother. This is what I use to prime my entire face. And then for my foundation, I'm going to use the CoverGirl Queen All Day Flawless 3-in-1 foundation, and the number that I'm using is Q800. It is a little bit light for me. For my summer shade, 805 would have been perfect, but I'm just going to go ahead and with some bronzer to you know, give me that match that I want. I'm going to use my Sedona Lace 480 brush for this, and just simply get this applied onto the skin. For my under eye concealer, I'm going to use my MAC Pro Longwear concealer, and this concealer is NW35. This is, again, not my exact match, but I'm just using it for a highlight effect under the eye. And I'm going to use my Sedona Lace 954 concealer brush. I'm just going to use this pretty much for placement, and then use my ring finger and a sponge to get this blended out. To set the under eye concealer, I'm just going to use my MAC set powder, and I'm going to just pat this right on those areas where that concealer was placed. And I'm using my RC Cosmetics. This is like a pointed foundation brush. It doesn't have a number or a name. For my contour, I'm going to use my NYX matte bronzer, and the color that I'm using is Deep Tan. And with that bronzer, I'm going to use my MAC 138 brush and just contour the sides of my face, which would be my cheekbone area, chin, and then my temples and forehead as well. For my cheek color, I'm actually going to use a bronzer, and the bronzer that I'm going to use is my Sonia Kashuk Illuminating Bronzer, and I'm going to apply this bronzer with my MAC 167 brush. Is that the 167? 187. Yeah. Lord, my numbers are rubbing off. 187. I knew that number wasn't right. Okay, so I'm just going to stipple this bronzer onto my cheeks. And I always focus on the back portion of my cheek, and then bring everything forward to my cheekbone. For my highlight, I'm going to use my MAC Double Definition Extra Dimension Skin Finish. And I'm going to use my MAC 138 brush to apply this to the highest points of my face, pretty much where light would naturally hit. So that would be the tops of my cheekbones, bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, chin, and the middle of the forehead. Okay, you guys, and that's pretty much it. On my lips, I'm using, I used 2 lipsticks, and that was pretty much by accident. I had pulled them both out. But I have Wet n Wild Coraline, and that's number 90D. That was the first lipstick color that I initially applied all over my lips. And then I noticed that it didn't have as much of that orange tint to it, and realized I put the wrong one on. So over top of the Wet n Wild Coraline, I have my NYX matte lipstick, and I love these. This one is in Indie Flick, and Indie Flick was just placed on top of the Wet n Wild lipstick color, and that's it. That's everything. You can go ahead and set your foundation, especially if you're going to be out. I hope you guys really enjoyed the tutorial. I tried my best to go as in detail as I could, as I normally do in my tutorials, but I'm in a bit of a rush. I have somewhere I have to be, and I'm like running late, and I'm trying to get the kids together. It's just been one of those days for me, but I still wanted to get a makeup tutorial film for you guys, because I know I have not really had the time to get as many videos out as I would like. But that's it, as always, and until next time, have a gorgeous day, dial. Smooches. Mwah. Bye.